Tasha K is a very controversial social media influencer, using both YouTube and Instagram to get out her content. And within that content comes some very controversial statements, sometimes untrue, about very important people, such as Cardi B. But Tasha K is known for her deep research on people that she breaks onto the internet. And I want to use one person for an example today, R. Kelly. Tasha K somehow got R. Kelly's information in prison and released that to the public, which caused a lot of uproar in the content creator community. But she's not only known for that, she's also known for bringing down big people on social media spaces like YouTube, like Derek Jackson. And Derek Jackson is a person that was ruined by Tasha K. Now, let me just get this straight. Derek Jackson's own doing was his own. If he would have not done it, he would not have any room to be ruined. But once Tasha K found out that Derek Jackson was cheating on his wife 2 years ago, she definitely went to task. And I want you to hear what she had to say during that whole situation.
You know, he's prideful. Like, he really doesn't feel like he wants to hear what he does wrong. But it's so frustrating because I'm not sexually or emotionally getting what I need, girl. What should I do?
Okay, so that hit home for me. I went through the same thing, okay? You're in your 20s, you get married. You say you got kids, right?
Tasha K says she went through the same thing. And I can honestly tell you that this is a very common problem in long-term marriages.
Yep, I got one. I got a 2-year-old.
Okay, all right. So y'all got a baby. That takes away from any intimacy because all your energy is spent with the baby, and then you disconnect emotionally.
Guys, this is one of the things that y'all don't appreciate when you get married. You do not understand, you don't even consider how a child is going to change your marriage. Everything that Tasha K is saying is correct.
You know what I'm saying? Even though y'all probably had this great marriage where you started, but then the kids come in and the babies is probably sleeping beside you or waking you up at
literally.
He had to go to work. That's not his fault.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like,
yes,
you guys, in a marriage, I've been married almost 20 years, and this happened early on in my marriage. Unfortunately, in my marriage, right, when it was happening, I stepped outside of the marriage.
Oh, okay. Tasha is admitting, hey, I stepped outside in my marriage. And this is how a lot of women solve this sexual dilemma, guys. Your wife will simply let another man in between her legs. How would that make you feel as a husband who is a great father and a great provider? Salute to Tasha K for admitting this. This is a very common marriage dynamic.
That didn't solve anything.
No.
At all. It made things worse.
But what the lead attorney has done today is epic because he didn't have to dig for the research. Tasha K admitted this herself. I want to play a clip of the lead attorney of Tasha K admitting that she cheated on her husband in the marriage while he was still being faithful.
That's where a lot of marriages, unfortunately, break down. Because, like, I was a stay-at-home mom, right? I didn't have to work. Even though I chose to work, I've always been a busybody. My husband has always held it down. And so, like, he's working 12, 15-hour shifts and stuff. I'm at home talking baby talk all day. It get real boring up in there. And then when you finally get out, you know what I'm saying? You're out with your girlfriends, and then a motherfucker paying you attention.
Yes.
And your husband at work all day. You end up, because I personally believe the universe can smell vulnerability. They can smell that shit on you. And I wouldn't be surprised if you was already approached by somebody.
Multiple people. And that's the thing. I don't want to leave my person. You know what I mean? So I'm like, let's talk through it. He's just not emotional at all. Like, he's just not that person or that guy where he talks about his feelings.
But he was emotional when you met him, right?
Yeah.
No, he was not emotional when she met him. He was having sex with her when she met him. The woman's problem is not that he's not emotional. The woman's problem is that he doesn't want to have sex with her anymore. Now the question is, why not? As a man, I suspect that it has very little to do with emotion. Let's see if Tasha K asked the right questions to ferret this out.
It's still there. It's just life is in the way. And you guys are at that 6-7 year mark. If you end up doing something right now that goes out outside of that marriage covenant, you guys are going to have more problems on top of what you already got. You guys are going to get through this cycle. It's a cycle that everybody hits. And that's why you see a lot of couples that hit divorce before 10 years. Fortunately for me, and my side of the family and his side of the family, they ain't letting no divorce go down, okay?
Tasha is exactly right about this. Families will try, some families, a few families in 2023 will try to keep marriages together. And a lot of couples need that. If you just leave it up to the two people, sometimes they won't make it. But if they have the backing of a family, if they have a backing of a network, of a community, that can help them stay together.
Same. They're literally not even, they don't even want to hear it.
A marriage is an effort, okay? And so, you know, he stepped out, I stepped out early in the marriage, right?
Oh, Check stepping out too. Damn, what are y'all doing? Shout out to Check.
Shit ain't solved nothing at all. All it do is you bring other people and their problems into your shit to add on top of the shit. And it was like you really love this person, you want to be with this person.
Who stepped out first?
Y'all got debt, y'all got all this shit, and it's like, well, how do we get back to what brought us together? And that's what you got to do. And you have to keep people that aren't serving you out your business.
True.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't be talking to your girlfriends. Don't be talking if your mama don't like him. Don't talk to her about him. You know, y'all just work on just being friends. You know, watching games together, going to do stuff together. And I guarantee you that will all come back up because that's the reason why y'all fell in love in the first place.
Right. Thank you so much.
Tasha did a good job giving some solid advice, but she didn't want to ask the real question. Here's the question. You're a stay-at-home mom? Yes. You just had a baby a couple of years ago? Yes. You guys ready? Have you gained a significant amount of weight? That's the question. Tasha didn't want to ask that. It's natural for women, especially stay-at-home moms like this lady, to gain weight. It's also completely natural for women to gain weight during their pregnancy and have a hard time losing it after the birth of their child.
Now, this is very interesting. Did you see the energy that Tasha K had for Derrick Jackson? But yet, here she is stepping out on a man, an African man, who she says is a real man, right? Like, you know, it's not like these African American guys who are not serious about marriage or, you know, the guys in our community. No, this is a real guy. You know, he's been through everything with her, even going through some of her stupidity with getting hit with a $4 million lawsuit to Cardi B. But as you can see, she still cheated on him and he stayed, which is one of the reasons why she don't have no respect for him today. And that's why she's going around acting like she don't have no sense, because she don't have no real male authority or male leadership in her life. And see, let me just kind of talk to you guys about that, because I just want to say that everybody makes mistakes. Nobody is perfect. And so I wonder, why did you want to bring down Derrick Jackson? Did you want to bring down Derrick Jackson because you thought he was a liar? Because when you got married to your husband and you said, I do, didn't you tell him that you was going to be faithful? Didn't you tell him that you were going to do X, Y, and Z? But that's not what you did. You stepped out on the marriage. And not only have you embarrassed him by what you've done with the whole Cardi B situation, you've embarrassed him again by coming out and admitting that is what you did. But you spend all your time on social media trying to bring other people down for the same things that you have done. And you're very unaccountable. And I believe actually that man is afraid of you. You see, guys, that happens. You see, Tasha K is married to what I would consider a beta male. You know, he's not a guy that can lead. He's not a strong man. And that's fine. I don't have any issue with the brother. But these are the kind of women who say they're so glad they got an African man, but if they'd be in the black community, they'd be terrorizing an African American man. Because see, certain women like this, you can't tell them nothing. They're not going to follow any kind of leadership rules. They're going to go ahead and be ratchet, and they're going to go ahead and do whatever they want to do. And they feel that by some small chance, some man is going to put up with them. And one of the worst things you can do is be around a woman that has no real male leadership. We've already seen what's happened to Black America. Look at ladies like Sexy Red, Sukiana, and although they are more sexual, look at Tasha K. Hers is more diabolical. Her mouth, she runs it. She says whatever she wants to say. She has no respect for people. And the reason why she's out there doing it is because she has a man that let her do it. And whenever you get a man that has a woman that is stronger than him, it's even worse than a woman by herself, because there is no woman that goes out here starting problems than a woman that has a weak man for a husband. And that is exactly what it is. How dare Tasha K go after Derrick Jackson or anybody for cheating or anybody for lying when you have that history of doing that yourself? Doesn't Derek Jackson deserve the same time to get it right since he stepped out of his marriage? Or was it because he didn't want to come onto your podcast because you tried that shit with other people? You want to go after folks who don't want to work with you. So the guy didn't want to come onto your podcast and give you an interview, so you wanted to be malicious and try to ruin him. But that's all right. You are ruining yourself, okay? And you make it very clear that any African-American man has done himself great justice to avoid you all of these years. Not only did you cheat on him, you financially ruined him as a woman, and you just won't stop making enemies. Then you come out here and do it to yourself. It's just amazing the hypocrisy that these women stand on, yet they're coming down on these men for doing the same thing that they've done or they're still doing. Isn't it just amazing? But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode here of the Celebrity Junk. And I want to give the lead attorney a big shout out for getting these receipts. I'm out.